What's good, YouTube? It's your man Coder, and I'm back with another video. In today's video, I'm going to be making a blended terrain and putting it into Godot 4. I'll be using Godot 4 for the lighting and stuff, also the shader. Those Godot 4 shaders are really good now. So the first thing I did in Blender was add a plane mesh, and then subdivided a bunch of times. Then afterwards, I created a set of geometry nodes. Then I added a set position node. After that, I added a combine X, Y, and Z node. Then I added a noise texture node. I connected its fact to the Z axis on the combiner node. I put the scale on 1.2, the detail on 8.1, the roughness on 0.469, and the distortion on 0. Afterwards, I was pretty much done working in Blender and it was off to Godot 4. Once I got into Godot 4, I created a root node. Then I added a 3D mesh instance and I loaded the terrain onto it. Now usually I work on the world environment after I'm done with the terrain shader. This time I did it in reverse, which doesn't really affect anything. So for now, I would just add a skybox. I started working on the terrain shader, which was like rocks with patches of grass. I learned some new stuff about shading. I set the UV1 scale to 5. Then after that, I was pretty much done with the shader, so I added a light node for the terrain. Then I went back to the world environment node and I did some world environment stuff. Did you know 2 days ago was World Environment Day? And 2 days before that was National Donut Day, W holidays. I changed the tone map mode to Reinhardt. I also turned up the exposure and the whites. Then I enabled adjustments for the first time. This setting basically allows you to edit basic things like the brightness, contrast, saturation. There's gotta be at least 100 settings at this point that let you edit the brightness though. I played with this for a while and then I just turned up the contrast and the saturation a few. I left the brightness on 1 because any brighter and we would have been approaching solar flare levels, possibly even a supernova. So brightness stays at 1. So afterwards I was pretty much done and I added the free look camera extension to my camera node. Speaking of which, I talked about that node in my last video. Go check it out if you haven't already. And after that I was done. So yeah, this is the finished project. It looks pretty good. I like the way the colors pop. That's because of that adjustment setting. I think the one thing it's missing is some defined shadows, and that's probably because of the way the directional light node is facing. I think it's directly above the terrain, so there's not really any shadows anywhere. Other than that, I'm pretty happy with it. Make sure you like and subscribe. Have a great rest of your day, and I'm out of here. Also, make sure you go watch my last video. Now I'm out of here.